This CEO learned a brutal lesson in humility. After his racist remarks backfired in the most shocking way, Michael Davidson, the CEO of Davidson Industries, walked into the conference room that morning, radiating his usual air of superiority. The room fell silent as he entered. Everyone there, potential clients and business partners, knew Michael's reputation, an influential man who demanded respect. But behind the polite smiles, there was a mix of fear and unease. This was no ordinary meeting. The attendees had gathered to compete for a lucrative deal with Davidson Industries, one of the most powerful trading companies in the city. Michael thrived on this dynamic. He knew they needed him more than he needed them. As he sat at the head of the table scanning the room, his piercing blue eyes froze on one person, a young black woman sitting confidently a few seats away. Her name was Rachel Thompson, and she was unlike anyone Michael expected to see in that room. She was smartly dressed, her posture poised, but to Michael, her presence felt out of place. His ego bristled. Without knowing her, he judged her. To him, she didn't belong in such an important meeting. Ignoring her entirely, Michael began the meeting. His tone was loud, confident, and dripping with arrogance. He treated everyone as though they were beneath him, brushing off their concerns and basking in his self-perceived brilliance. But Rachel, an exceptional analyst, didn't let his attitude faze her. She was here to represent her company and secure a deal, and she wasn't going to back down. As the meeting went on, Rachel couldn't help but notice Michael's condescension. He ignored valid questions and preferred to boast about his achievements. Finally, Rachel spoke up. She asked him a sharp, forward question about the sustainability of his business model. Michael froze. Who was this young woman to challenge him? With a mocking smile, he asked, "What black community college taught you enough to question my model?" Rachel's heart sank, but she maintained her composure. Calmly, she replied that she graduated from the University of Chicago, one of the top schools in the country. But Michael wasn't impressed. His comments turned darker, laced with overt racism. He questioned her qualifications, suggesting she was only there to meet diversity quotas. The room grew tense. Everyone else shifted uncomfortably in their seats, but no one dared to speak. Emboldened by their silence, Michael took it further. He insulted Rachel's intelligence and openly dismissed her presence, claiming people like her didn't belong in rooms like this. The final blow came when he arrogantly referred to her as a monkey who needed to know her place. Rachel had had enough. Standing tall, she looked him squarely in the eye and said, "Thank you for your time." With grace and dignity, she walked out of the room, leaving behind a stunned silence. Michael, however, was unfazed. To him, he had taught her a lesson. He continued the meeting, oblivious to the storm brewing on the horizon. Later that afternoon, Michael was preparing for an even bigger meeting with Roger Miller, the CEO of Miller Trading, the industry's biggest name. This deal was Michael's lifeline. His company was struggling financially, and securing this partnership was crucial. But then Michael's phone rang. It was Roger. Expecting a routine call, Michael answered confidently, only for his entire world to come crashing down. "You humiliated my daughter," Roger began, his voice filled with anger. Michael froze. Daughter? That's when it hit him. Rachel Thompson was Roger Miller's adopted daughter. She had been sent to the earlier meeting to assess Davidson Industries ahead of their partnership discussions. Roger wasn't just angry, he was furious. "Effective immediately, I'm cutting all ties with your company," Roger said. His tone was final. Michael's arrogance had not only cost him the biggest deal of his career, but also tarnished his reputation with the most powerful figure in the industry. As word of Roger's decision spread, other clients and partners began distancing themselves from Davidson Industries. Michael's company spiraled into chaos. Within weeks, he was forced to lay off employees and shut down the very business he had worked so hard to build. For Michael, the collapse of his company was more than just a financial blow. It was a harsh, unrelenting lesson. His prejudice and arrogance had destroyed everything, and as he packed up his office for the last time, he was left with nothing but regret. Rachel, meanwhile, emerged stronger than ever. Despite the humiliating experience, she vowed to never let anyone make her feel inferior again. Her grace under pressure became a defining moment in her career. The moral of this story? Arrogance and prejudice may lift you temporarily, but they will always lead to a downfall. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.